I finally found the cause of my main coolant leak on the E36. It seems to be leaking through the thermostat housing. You can see there's a lot of traces of like coolant and stuff, like even dried up, not coolant but antifreeze, or it's mainly dried up water with water wetter. I got a new piece on the mail already, so I'm gonna take this part off. So for that I need to take the 2 coolant hoses off. I need to take this bracket off, 13mm bolt, and then the rest should be 10. This is what the old thermostat housing looks like. And the old thermostat. The gasket seems to be pretty flat, it's supposed to be round. And over here looks like it had better days when this gasket looks like pretty squished and flat as well. Instead of replacing the gaskets, I just got a whole new replacement thermostat housing and gasket. But it came with a higher temperature thermostat. This one is 71 Celsius, but it was like 86 Celsius. I'm definitely keeping this one. This is what the front of the engine looks like. Now I have to brush off all this white stuff so I can get a good surface for the new gasket to seal. When I rebuilt the engine, I made the mistake by installing the old thermostat housing with the old gasket, and it backfired on me. So this is what it should look like, and this is what the other one looked like. The thermostat housing is fixed, so now it's time to add water and water wetter and bleed the system, and it should be good to go. And today I want to focus on the bodywork on the car because I have to prep it for vinyl, which I want to try to vinyl the car this weekend. And yes, since you guys really wanted me to fix this, I'm taking the vinyl off today, and I'm gonna like shave the whole roof and make it all smooth and revinyl it again so it looks good and smooth. I also got a new front fascia for the car since this one is all dented and stuff. And this is like a 92 to 93 style. This is at like 97 and up style, so it has like nicer kidneys and also have like new kidneys in here. So I'm already prepping this. I'm gonna spray with some clear, that way the vinyl will stick to it better. I know like these parts, if you don't paint them, they will rust even though they're like coated with that black stuff, so I don't want to take my chances with that. Then the rest of the car has a few little dents like on the door and stuff. I already went ahead and just like tapped them in, and then I can just like fill them with a little bit of Bondo and sand them down. That's the roof. The trunk has like this little dent right here, which I might fix, even though I'm gonna put a wing on there so it will cover it, but I just want to make sure I get it fixed, so because I know it's there. Then on this side I got a dent here which I can fix, but the over fender or something or vinyl is gonna go over it. You may not have heard that, I did not say over fender. And there's a dent here, couple little dents here, or at least they're inwards and not outwards. If it's outwards then you can't reduce it, so you like dent them back in and then fill them and sand them down. This fender has this nice little gush right here, which I already like straightening up the back side, so I'm just gonna like fill this up. I could hit it from the bottom and fix it, but I don't want to take the whole fender off. Got the nose painted and it's back, and I put it outside to dry, and now comes the most painful part of the whole job. No, after it took me all night to put this on, I'm peeling it back out. It's actually on there pretty good. I need some more boost. Man, this thing is on there really good. This is some good stuff. How does these people like remove this stuff? Like, come on, get out of here. All right, I give up. And this is what I got now. This is what it looks like without the vinyl on. It doesn't look pretty anymore. It has all this like weird markings on it. So I guess I will like sand down a little bit more so I can get good adhesion for the Bondo. And let's see how this turns out. I stripped down the top of the sunroof, almost all completely bare to metal, Now I can use fiberglass reinforced Bondo to fill like the thicker stuff, and then use regular Bondo to fill the smaller stuff. Here's the mess that I made now. So I got fiberglass body filler here, and then I got regular Bondo on this side since it was just a little line. This is where the like dip was, so it made it. I have to do a thicker one, so I did this. I'm gonna sand it down, and then I'm gonna cover the imperfections with the lightweight body filler thing, like Bondo thing. It's not Bondo, it's a different brand, but I just call it Bondo just because. After hours and hours of sanding, I finally got the whole roof smooth. It still has a little like imperfections here and there, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get more filler primer in there and fill those out. I'm not a body guy, but this is the best I could do. At least this is way better than what it was. I am running also out of time. Since you can see it's gonna rain, so I have to finish this as quickly as possible. I'm not a body man, but this is as good as it gets with what I can do and the tools that I have. It's a lot better than what it was. It's not like you can clearly see where there was a sunroof, but also the roof is kind of like a little bit of damage. So I'll just leave it like this. I'm waiting for the paint to dry, so I'm gonna apply the vinyl now. Here it is after the rain, and it like messed up the paint a little bit, but I'm not gonna redo this thing again. This is what I can do so far. I'm waiting on Marco to see if he can come by and help me lay down the vinyl wrap and get this thing wrapped. But now comes the most important part of this video, in which I need to replace this with my new turbo by Garrett GTX 3582R turbo, which is in here. I still can't wait to finally install my own Garrett turbo. I always want one of these. Oh, it's so heavy. Oh, it's gonna take 2 hands. There we go. Now I got it out of the box. So this is a Garrett GTX 3582R. This is a Generation 2 turbo. You can tell by the different housing design. And then also, it even has a fully machined speed sensor port, so you can measure the RPMs of the compressor wheel. These things normally spin up to like 180,000 RPMs. It's crazy. That's super fast. The GTX turbos also have a 10-blade forged billet wheel, and it's a fully CNC machine to like have the perfect tolerances to make this wheel super aerodynamic and be able to handle like really high amounts of boost. Also, the design allows you to have a quicker spool and better power band. On the exhaust side, the exhaust wheel is made of a super alloy called Incano. This alloy allows you to run at super high temperature and still maintain strength. This turbo features a 66mm inducer on the compressor wheel and 82mm exducer on the compressor wheel. Then the turbine wheel has a 68mm inducer and a 62mm exducer, making this like a 66-62 turbo. There are a few turbine housing options for this turbo. I chose the smallest one in T4. This one will be a 63AR. Since right now I'm only targeting 400 horsepower, this should do. I probably will sacrifice a little bit of high end, but I will have like the quickest spool I can get out of this turbo with a T4 housing. Which I don't know if I told you guys, but it's been about 4.5 years since I last was able to drive my own car. So I have a little bit of a learning curve to go through. So having a good, reliable power band will help ease my learning curve with the car. That way I have a better throttle response. I can like do the small course over there at Orlando Speed World and the skid pad. Definitely once I get used to the car, maybe I will upgrade to a 82AR housing and turn up the boost even more to try to get about 600 horsepower out of the car. This turbo also comes equipped with a dual ceramic ball bearing, and it's water and oil cooled. One cool thing is that all the lines and everything that I have for this old turbo will fit directly on the new Garrett unit. Except one modification that I have to do is that I will have to drill and port and then weld a flange so I can use the external wastegate on the exhaust housing, since my manifold and space configuration only allow me to run a wastegate directly on the turbo housing. which there's nothing wrong with that. It actually allows me to have even more precise boost control having the wastegate right on the turbo. The horsepower rating on this turbo is between 450 horsepower all the way to 850 horsepower. That means later when I'm running 600 horsepower, this turbo will be able to take it all day, no problem. I'm really curious about how this turbo will sound. I hope it sounds like that cool high-pitched sound that all these newer turbos have. Alright guys, this is a turbo that I have. This is a GTX 3582 Gen 2 Turbocharger. Like I said before, the horsepower rating is from 450 to 850 horsepower. If you're gonna be running this turbo on a single turbo configuration, it will be good from a 2 liter to a 4.5 liter displacement. If you wanna run any larger than that, you can also double up and run a twin turbo setup for more horsepower. It's like a little graph of the size of the turbo. I think it is all in millimeters, so it's kind of like harder to say. Yeah, it is in millimeter. One thing I wanted to show you guys, these turbos, you can get them in a super core, which is how normally they're sold. But now you can also get them as an assembly, which I got, where is it? Right here. I got this assembly, so it comes ready with the exhaust housing as well. Part number is 856-801-5072S, and this is a turbo that will be running in my car. Later I want to get the step up bigger size exhaust housing, which will be this one, so it'll be an 82. Right here you can see the exhaust flow chart. Will be the yellow line, so it'll be like all the way down here. Once I get the 82, then it'll be the green one. It'll be like, it'll bump it up all the way up here, so I can run a lot more horsepower than what I'll be running now. So I'm gonna try the 63 for now, and then bump it up to 82 later and see how it goes. If I ever need more, I can then jump. The next one will be 106 AR, which will be the black stripe, which will be all the way up here. So I'm gonna start from the bottom, try taking like baby step with this, and see how much response can I actually get from my car. Did I show you guys that Adam is also gonna be running a Garrett turbo on the GAC? This is going to be the turbo that Adam is running. This is gonna be a GTX 3584 RS. The RS means that the compressor wheel is designed for high horsepower. Here's like an up-close shot of my 3582 turbo, a compressor wheel. And then over here you can see that the one on Adam's 34 RS is a little bit different. It's like a little bit more inclined, a lot smoother wheel. And here's the exhaust housing differences. I will be running a T4 exhaust housing configuration, and on Adam's car we're gonna be running a V-band inlet exhaust housing. On his I built the 2JC to be a 3.4 liter stroker. I run a little bit bigger exhaust housing. I'm running an 83 AR to start, and if we need more exhaust housing later, we can always bump it up from there. And with this new information, I can finally close today's video. I got a lot of stuff that I gotta do on my car before I leave for FD Texas, so I'll be doing that on the next video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please hit the like button and subscribe. I'm sorry I haven't already posted a lot of videos later. I just had a lot of work to do. So I'm trying to keep up and film as well, but I also have to get the work done. The next video will be installing the turbocharger. I also gotta replace the rear axle on my car, and then I gotta wrap the car this weekend hopefully.